24 right. Transition level 180. Bird activity in vicinity of airport. Advise on initial contact you have information Victor. Toronto Pearson Airport information Victor. 1314 Zulu. Wind 220 at 17, gusts 25, visibility half. Heavy thunderstorms. Ceiling 600 overcast. Temperature 22. Dew point 22. Altimeter 2975. Landing and departing runways 23, 24 right. Transition level 180. Bird activity in vicinity of airport. Advise on initial contact you have information Victor. Toronto Pearson Airport information Victor. 1314 Zulu.
Toronto clearance, Air Canada 115 Heavy, Gate 177 with information Victor, requesting IFR clearance to Tampa.
Air Canada 115 Heavy, Toronto delivery. Thanks for information Victor. Expect runway 23, Bettis Tree departure, ERA transition, initial climb to 7,000 feet. Squawk 0041.
Expect runway 23, Bettis 3 departure, ERA transition, initial climb to 7,000, squawk 0041, Air Canada 115 Heavy.
Air Canada 115 Heavy, read back correct. Contact ground 121.9er when ready for push or start.
Contact ground on 121.9er when ready for push and start. Air Canada 115 Heavy. All right, everyone. Welcome to Copilot and episode 6 of Adventures with BeyondAtc. As you can see, we just got our ATIS and we just got our clearance delivery. We were doing a flight from Tampa to, or from Toronto to Tampa. Sorry about that. And yeah, stormy day here in Toronto. So it'll be a bit of a rainy, stormy departure. But yeah, so we're gonna continue right on. We got our ATIS and we've got our clearance. Let me bring the ATC window over for you so you can see. I want to point a couple of things out here. Now you can see with our clearance, it was hit and miss before, but now it seems I'm seem to more often than not be getting my runway to expect with my clearance, which is an awesome awesome. So I know what I'm gonna get, and I can go ahead and set up my FMC now. So yeah, we got all our information. Just wanted to show you something else that was added to BeyondAtc. If you notice down here on the bottom right hand corner, there's now a map icon. We can click that. It's showing us our gate that we're sitting at, and it's showing us our runways and taxiways and the whatnot. And when we call for taxi, it'll actually paint the route that it wants us to show take here, and we can see so we can basically see what BeyondAtc is seeing and the taxiways, and we'll take a little look at a little more look at that once we get going. All right, so there we have it. So yeah, our clearance and our ATIS, no problem. It went perfect. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish setting up the aircraft, and I'll hook back up with you guys when we're ready for taxi. We're gonna try and just keep this focused on BeyondAtc, and we'll cut out all the other in between stuff, because I really want to keep the attention on BeyondAtc for these videos. Toronto ground, Air Canada 115 Heavy, ready to taxi.
Air Canada 115 Heavy, runway 23 taxi via Niner, Alpha Mike Alpha Hotel.
Runway 23 taxi via Niner, Alpha Mike Alpha Hotel, Air Canada 115 Heavy. All right, we have our taxi clearance. So let me just go and bring this up here for you and show you what's going on here. And you can see it's painted the route for us to take here, Alpha, all the way up to Alpha Mike, to hotel, and runway 23 right there. Pretty simple, pretty straightforward, and it matches up with the data that I'm seeing on my charts. So we'll go ahead and put that back over there and put our window over there. Okay, get our seats situated here. Our parking brake off. There we go. And we can start our taxi.
Air Canada 115 Heavy, contact Toronto Tower 118.7.
Contact Toronto Tower 118.7 for Air Canada 115 Heavy. See ya. All right, here we are, runway 23. So so far, BeyondAtc has been flawless. Yeah, nothing I can say wrong with that. It's been becoming more and more cohesive as time goes on. BeyondAtc is definitely becoming more, excuse me, more cohesive. If you go over to and join their Discord page, they post there all the fixes with every update they put out. You can track all that. You can see all the fixes, all the things they've added, and what they've done to the latest updates. Okay, so we've been told to contact Tower, so we'll go ahead and do that. Let's get the aircraft ready first, though. Got our lights turned on here. Let's get our nav lights on. Let's get our logo lights on. Let's turn everything on. Since we got a stormy, rainy day, we might as well get everything turned on. We got our flap set. Before takeoff checklist complete. Alright, let's contact Tower. Toronto Tower, Air Canada 115 Heavy, holding short, runway 23, ready for departure.
Air Canada 115 Heavy, Toronto Tower, wind 220 at 17, gusts 25, runway 23, cleared for takeoff.
Runway 23, clear for takeoff, Air Canada 115 Heavy. Alright, there you go. It didn't tell us to backtrack. That went perfectly too. So, yeah, we'll continue. What's going on here? Parking brake didn't want to release. And we're off.
V1.
Rotate. V2. Positive rate of climb.
Air Canada 115 Heavy, reset transponder. Squawk 0041.
Squawk 0041, Air Canada 115 Heavy. Okay, we're getting no further communications from ATC here.
Aircraft calling. Request not understood.
All right, looks like BeyondAtc has crapped out on us here.
Aircraft calling. Did not copy.
Toronto Tower, Air Canada 115 Heavy, squawking 01041.
Air Canada 115 Heavy. Did not copy.
Oh, no wonder.
Air Canada 115 Heavy. Contact Toronto departure 128.8.
Contact Toronto departure 128.8.
Toronto, Air Canada 115 Heavy, 6,700 feet.
Air Canada 115 Heavy, Toronto departure. Identified. Climb to flight level 190.
Climb to flight level 190, Air Canada 115 Heavy. Air Canada 115 Heavy, can you give me a heading to my next fix?
Air Canada 115 Heavy, direct Murno. Turn left, heading 150, climb to flight level 190.
Wilco, direct Murno, turn left, heading 150, climb to flight level 190, Air Canada 115 Heavy.
All right, we're on our way. As you can see, that was my screw up, not not beyond ATCs. Got behind the aircraft here. My flaps are still down. And, oh yeah, I didn't have my transponder set, and then when I did set it, I didn't set it properly. Yeah, so all that was on me, not beyond ATC. So far, beyond ATC has been working flawless. I just want to make sure I don't hang my mistakes on beyond ATC. And as you can see, we're departing here through these storm clouds. We have some pretty heavy thunderstorms going on in Toronto right now. It's pretty black. If you're hearing thunder, that would be the thunder outside, not in the sim. So yeah, the weather's matching up pretty good with what we're seeing here in the sim here. But I've switched the ATC, beyond ATC, over to auto respond, and we're climbing out here. These nasty looking storm clouds. I don't even have my stuff up here. Now you can see by my weather radar, I wasn't joking. So the weather radar seems to be working pretty good, and it seems to be showing me what I got outside my window, even outside what I got outside my real window here. So you can see the reds and the pinks, and yeah, it's all making sense. So yeah, absolutely loving the Boeing 777. And the weather radar, I see a circle here. Wonder if we got a baby hurricane going on there.
Air Canada 115 Heavy. Contact Toronto Center 128.275. Contact Toronto Center 128.275. Air Canada 115 Heavy. Have a good day. Toronto Center, Air Canada 115 Heavy. Passing 16,900 feet for flight level 190.
Air Canada 115 Heavy, Toronto Center, radar contact. Climb to flight level 380.
Climb to flight level 380, Air Canada 115 Heavy.
Looks like the worst of it is off to our right there. Yeah, so the weather's pretty intense around Toronto today. But yeah, that's it. So far, Beyond ATC has worked flawless, except for my little goof up there with the transponder. But that's why you do your checklist, people. I digress. Anyways, yeah, we'll continue on forward. The rest is just going to be handoffs, pretty straightforward. Beyond ATC has that pretty down for the cruise parts. So we'll hook back up with you when we're approaching our top of descent, and we'll let you see how Beyond ATC handles that. So we'll see you shortly. All right, back with you. As you can see, we're about 100 miles out from our top of descent of But I want to bring you guys in at this point so we can see exactly what happens with BeyondAtc and how it plays out, because they've been working on the descents and the vectoring and all that for the arrivals. As you can see, we're approaching our transition, so I'm just waiting to see if BeyondAtc contacts us, because the last flight I did, usually I'm being proactive, but ATC was ahead of me pretty much the whole way and advised me of my runways and everything. So we'll see if they do that here. I realized I didn't have the premium voices on, so I went ahead and turned those on. So for the second half here, for the arrival, you can hear the premium voice. Kind of works out good that way, so you get a combination of both. But it just goes to show you that I had it on basic voices, and I didn't even the basic voices are so good, I forgot that I didn't even have the premium voices on. But now that I did turn on the premium voices, you can tell they're pretty awesome. They do sound better than the basic, but yeah, the basic sound pretty good. Looks like I got some tiling popping in and out down there. But yeah, I brought you back before we got to our transition there, just so you could see if ATC contacts us prior to getting to our transition. Our top of descent's about 82 miles, 83 miles, nautical miles. Now I have it plugged in for 19 left. I'm not sure what runway they're going to give us. I'm going by what SimBrief gave me. 19 right, I think it was. Bring that up, yeah. So I got 19 right plugged into the FMC right now. So we're going to see if that changes. Yeah, it's been pretty smooth. Everything's been great up to this point. Yeah, no issues with BeyondAtc. I got the auto respond on. Usually on the takeoff I put it on auto respond. I didn't do it back there. That takeoff was horrendous. I forgot to set the transponder before taxiing off the whole bit. So yeah, use your checklist. And the checklist in the aircraft, the 777 here, it's kind of a generic. It only gives you the checks of the crucial items. It doesn't really, give you all your incidental stuff. It's not a comprehensive checklist. It would be nice if we had the option to add items to that checklist. That would be great. But here comes our transition, and you can see our top is descent just behind that. 60 miles out, 62 miles.
Air Canada 115 Heavy, contact Jacksonville Center 132.3.
Contact Jacksonville Center 132.3, Air Canada 115 Heavy. Jacksonville Center, Air Canada 115 Heavy, flight level 380.
Air Canada 115 Heavy, Jacksonville Center. Roger.
So nothing from ATC yet.
Air Canada 115 Heavy, Jacksonville
Oh.
Center. Expect aids 1, runway 19er right.
Expect Dades 1, runway 19er right, Air Canada 115 Heavy.
Okay, so we got our arrival, we got our runway, and that was good prior to me reaching the transition there. So now I'll just continue until my top of descent, and then I'll call ready for descent. So yeah, you can see right there, it's definitely being ahead of me. Before I couldn't wait. I had to get on top of being proactive and contacting ATC, but now ATC seems to be much better on the ball. We got the runway that we were expecting, so that was good. Yeah, you can tell those premium voices sound pretty awesome. It does sound much better with the real voices. But again, those basic voices are good. So the fact that I could forget it, you know, and I don't just automatically, oh, this sounds horrible, and go to the premium voices, you know, is a testament to how good the basic voices are too. And I wasn't really sure what to expect when it came to the characters, the premium characters. But yeah, they're turning out to be not that expensive. And when I
Air Canada 115 Heavy, contact Jacksonville Center. 133.7. Have a good day.
Contact Jacksonville Center 133.7, Air Canada 115 Heavy. Jacksonville Center, Air Canada 115 Heavy, flight level 380.
Air Canada 115 Heavy, Jacksonville Center, roger.
And in regards to the characters there, when I say not that expensive, I mean in reference to what I was expecting. It's cheaper than, it's working out cheaper to use the premium voices than I thought it would. So yeah, BeyondAtc's been out for a little bit now. But they didn't just release and it's been...
Air Canada 115 Heavy, contact Jacksonville Center 134.4, take care.
Contact Jacksonville Center 134.4, Air Canada 115 Heavy. Jacksonville Center, Air Canada 115 Heavy, flight level 380.
Air Canada 115 Heavy, Jacksonville Center, roger.
Yeah, that radio degradation on the ATC, they got that pretty good too now. It's sounding pretty good. We're coming up to our top of descent in about 20 miles. Got the aircraft ready to go. But yeah, it hasn't been stagnant. BeyondAtc has been improving and improving. If you go back and start watching some of the issues we were having in the first couple episodes of Adventures with BeyondAtc compared to what what you're seeing now, it's there's a stark difference. There's been a lot of improvements. Yeah, I would highly recommend going over and signing up with BeyondAtc over on their Discord, and yeah, you could see all the changes and stuff they're making to you know, adding voices and fixes to different airports and all kinds of stuff, right? Working on the descents and the stuff we were talking about here, being proactive. But here's our, let's call ready for descent. Our descent's coming up here. I'm yapping away here. I'm not even paying attention. Gonna miss it.
Air Canada 115 Heavy, ready for descent.
Air Canada 115 Heavy, descend via Dades 1 arrival, Tampa Airport landing, runway 19er right, altimeter 3009er.
Descend via Dades 1 arrival, Tampa Airport landing, runway 19er right, altimeter 3009er, Air Canada 115 Heavy.
So you see how that was? They didn't even tell me to descend to a certain altitude, which works fine. He's just instructed me to descend according to the SID. So yeah, the aircraft, the descent profile's all set up in the aircraft. We're good to go. So now I'm just waiting to my top of descent. I got it set on 2000. I probably could start setting my altitudes accordingly and stepping down instead of bringing it down like that all the time, because before I was just going ahead and descending totally via the despite what ATC was telling me. But this works. There's our descent profile. Gonna say, why is she not descending? But there she goes. We'll arm our speed brake. And yeah, we'll get her on profile. Speed brake extended. Don't need to extend them, just arm them. Take a look at our checklist. Recall, let's do a recall. Recall's good. Notes, there are no notes. Auto brake. We'll set that. Our landing data is set and our approach briefing is complete. Descent checklist complete. And our altimeter as well. And I am descending via ATC instructions. The way it just happened here, I didn't have to ignore like altitude. It's a big difference. Yeah, very nice. $19 right is pretty much a straight in approach. So we're going to want to get down there quickly. We'll be coming in, we'll be coming down, but instead of coming down to Borst and going around for one left, one right, we'll be coming in on top here. So yeah, we got to be on top of our descent and make sure we're on, we're down where we need to be, because we're going to be there quick. This aircraft, the 777, I find you really got to be on that speed brake, and you really got to manage that speed. She's really slippy in the descents. You're going to hear that alarm a lot on the descent. Speed brake extended. But yeah, you don't keep the speed in check on this aircraft, it'll run away on you for sure. For this approach, you definitely want to be, you know, I would prefer to be below the descent path rather than above it. But yeah, I love this aircraft. I'm having an issue with the cockpit on the takeoff roll. I'm going to do a video on that and show what's happening with that. This is the only aircraft that I'm having that problem with. And yeah, I haven't seemed to be able to fix it. I don't know what. I was hoping PMDG would come out with a fix it in the last update, but yeah, no go. And it's happened to it's happening to all the liveries and whatnot. So, but I'll do a separate video on that. It's not gonna kill me, but yeah, I'd like to get that fixed. Maybe somebody in the community can tell me what's going on with that. Getting a little above that descent path, nothing too crazy, but yeah, see, you got to keep that in check. I had to engage speed brake to slow her down and get her back on. But yeah, we're really happy with what I'm seeing coming out of BeyondAtc. Yeah, much better experience for sure. I've had no issues this whole flight. It's just like a normal flight using ATC. Well, I did have issues, but that issues was my screwing up and thinking BeyondAtc crapped out on me. I set the wrong, forgot to set my transponder, and then when I did set it, I set the wrong value. But once I followed the instructions and got my transponder set, yeah, I didn't have any more issues after that. If I would have had my transponder set properly to begin with, I wouldn't have had any issues.
Air Canada 115 Heavy, contact Jacksonville Center 133.325. Have a good one.
Contact Jacksonville Center 133.325, Air Canada 115 Heavy. Jacksonville Center, Air Canada 115 Heavy, descending via Dates 1, flight level 190.
Air Canada 115 Heavy, Jacksonville Center, roger.
Yeah, what should happen though, maybe in a future update, BeyondAtc will address that. Because normally, when you go to taxi, if you're not squawking your squawk code they've given you, they'll usually instruct you to squawk your squawk code before you start taxiing. They're not going to wait until you've lifted off and then tell you to squawk. So yes, it was my fault for forgetting to put in my squawk code. But it would have been nice if BeyondAtc would have told me that when I called ready for taxi. Like if I was on VATSIM for say, and I pushed back and I was ready for taxi, but I didn't put my transponder on TARA and squawk. Just saw a flash in my, not sure what that was. I just saw this weird flash on the screen. I'm not sure. I was kind of looking away. There it is again. There's just clouds popping in and out. But yeah, like I was saying, on VATSIM, if I called ready for taxi and I didn't have my transponder set properly, they would tell you right away. Before they would even clear you for taxi, they would tell you to squawk. Okay, let's start paying attention to what we're doing here. Get some landing lights on here. Let's go and check our yep, we're good. Our radios are in.
Air Canada 115 Heavy, contact Tampa approach 135.5. Have a good day.
Contact Tampa approach, Air Canada 115 Heavy.
Got my speed down there.
Tampa, Air Canada,
Excuse me.
115 Heavy, 1,900 feet with information X-ray.
Air Canada 115 115 Heavy, Tampa approach. Altimeter tree 009er, expect the visual approach, runway 19er right.
Altimeter 3009er, expect the visual approach, runway 19er right. Air Canada 115 Heavy.
So I'm going to set my vertical speed here. 1100, let's get her down there. Get my speed slowed down too. Gone off of VNAV. Yeah, I'm really liking this 777, PMDG 777. Except for that takeoff roll. Only on the it only happens on the takeoff roll when I'm rolling down the runway. It doesn't happen any other time. It doesn't happen when I'm landing. I'm definitely going to do a video on that. It's the only problem I'm having with this aircraft so far. Way too high. It's what I didn't want. Seeing some flashing there, not sure what that is. Seen it a couple times now. I don't know if that's like a flash off the, like glint off the windshield or something, or what. Is ATC gonna vector us here or what?
Air Canada 115 Heavy. Leave Jake Ball heading 210. Expect radar vectors for visual approach. Runway 19er right.
Leave Jake Ball heading 210. Expect radar vectors for visual approach. Runway 19er right. Air Canada 115 Heavy.
Air Canada 115 Heavy. Turn left heading 215. Descend and maintain 2,000 vectors for the approach.
Turn left, heading 215, descend and maintain 2000, Air Canada 115 Heavy.
Where's my heading bug?
Air Canada 115 Heavy, turn left heading 210.
2500.
Turn left, heading
I
210,
screwed
Air
up.
Canada 115 Heavy.
Is that lightning I'm seeing? Having a problem with my heading bug here. I don't see it. Jeez, Louise. That was weird. My heading bug was all screwed up. That's what happens when you're not paying attention to what you're doing. Intercept the localizer here. Vectors for the visual.
Air Canada 115 Heavy Airport is at your 11 o'clock 15 miles. Report the field in sight.
Looking for field, Air Canada 115 Heavy. Air Canada 115 Heavy, field in sight.
Air Canada 115 Heavy, cleared visual approach runway 19er right.
Cleared visual approach 19er right, Air Canada 115 Heavy.
We're gonna go ahead and use the auto land on this one. I want to see how I just want to concentrate on how BeyondAtc handles us exiting the runway and stuff. Oh, Man, this drives me nuts when it does that. Christ. Okay, let's get our gear down. Got the glide slope.
Air Canada 115 Heavy, contact Tampa Tower 119.5. Have a good day.
Over to Tower 119.5, Air Canada 115 Heavy. Tampa Tower, Air Canada 115 Heavy, visual runway 19 right.
Air Canada 115 Heavy, Tampa Tower, wind calm, runway 19 right, cleared to land.
Runway 19 right cleared to land, Air Canada 115 Heavy.
Yeah, Beyond ATC, work follows this flight. Yeah, just glad to bring this one to you and let you see it for yourselves. She's getting better. You know, the captain says tens of thousands of people are using it and enjoying it. So, yeah, I can't wait for the traffic injection. I got a little paranoid with the early release there when you're seeing like all the bugs and whatnot, but yeah, my confidence level is definitely building for sure. It's definitely getting better.
$100, $50, $30, $20, $10.
Nice landing.
Air Canada 115 Heavy, exit left at Whiskey 4.
Exit left at Whiskey 4, Air Canada 115 Heavy.
Hope that was Whiskey 4. Looks like I exited
Air
Whiskey
Canada
5.
Heavy, contact ground 121.7.
Ground 121.7, Air Canada 115 Heavy. Take care.
Okay, now before we go ahead and contact ground, let me bring this over for you and show you. Now they're telling us to expect gate E66, Echo 66. Okay? So we can go ahead and take that, or we can take another one. But let's go look, see what GSX. There's only one spot in Echo that's suitable for this aircraft. And it is Echo 66. So we can go ahead and take that gate. We'll call the follow me car, but yeah, we're not going to use that. We're going to go by this. Let me bring this up and show you. See, now we got the map. It shows us sitting here. Now we'll go ahead and request taxi to the assigned gate.
Air Canada 115 Heavy, request taxi to allocated gate.
Air Canada 115 Heavy, gate Echo 66 taxi.
You can see how I painted it out
Victor
there.
2 Victor.
Gate Echo 66 taxi via Whiskey 4, Victor 2, Victor Air Canada 115 Heavy.
So yeah, just show you that, and it is a moving map. It'll go. Let me take a look outside here. I turned the wrong way, obviously. So just make a U-turn around this UP there. There's our guide car. And looks like he wants me to take me the same way that ATC instructed me. So we'll do that. So data's lining up. Even the taxiing off to the gate, the data is much better. I don't know where our chase car is. He's way the hell down there. Some escort he is. We're looking for 6-6. I'm gonna have to turn in there. Are you kidding me? Yeah, that's nuts. There's my marshaller. I don't know where the guide car was. This guy gonna put me into the jetway here. Oh, he's so close I can't even see him. Can't even see this guy. Yeah, BeyondAtc is working better than GSX. But there you have it. We're at our gate. Yeah, everything matched up. The our instructions with BeyondAtc was great. Yeah, everything went perfect. The vectoring was good. You know, there was a few screw-ups, but they were all on my part. Had nothing to do with BeyondAtc. So there you have it, folks. I'm just gonna go ahead and shut this thing down, and you know, I'm taxiing with my strobes and everything on. But yeah, this was about BeyondAtc, not how to fly. This was a terrible, terrible flight lesson. If you don't do as I do. But yeah, BeyondAtc, fantastic for episode 6. So as always, stay safe, my friends, and until the next video, remember, keep the blue side up. We'll talk to you later.